As Mr. Museveni maintains his grip on power, his desire to control people has hit new levels. A few days ago, he released a video. I think a video was released under his name where he was warning people who criticize him. It is very heartbreaking that a man who promised us that he was going to fight for freedom, for our freedom to express ourselves, for things like free speech, is now become a shadow of his former self.
No one should think that what is happening today, what has been happening in the last 2 days, is a mere change of guards. It's not a mere change of guards. I think this is a fundamental change in the politics of our country.
You won't believe when you listen to him speak and what he threatens to do to people who are just going to express themselves using their constitutional right. Ladies and gentlemen, don't take my word for it. Listen to the President of the Republic of Uganda making threats against his own citizens.
Don't try to speak badly that you are a politician. You are speaking badly to me.
Don't try to speak badly that you're a politician.
It's not acceptable.
No, Mr. President, you don't choose what I have to say. Look, do I endorse people speaking badly? Absolutely not. But do I know that they have a right to speak that way? Absolutely. It is protected under free speech, the freedom that is given to them to say what they want to say as long as it is not inciting violence or threatening danger to your life or to my life. This is what you were voted to do in the first place, not these other times where you cheated.
Stop.
It won't stop. I'm sorry to be the bearer of the bad news. People cannot be silenced forever.
This BI must stop. The BI of they run bad things in Europe.
And now choosing to evoke Europe in your tirade is deliberate. You're looking for a scapegoat. You're looking for something to blame as you're planning to visit injustices onto innocent people. That they learn bad things from Europe. Let me tell you this, Mr. President. In Uganda, people are abducted. People are tortured. Many are disappeared and others are killed. These things are done by our own people, by men that are sent by you and your henchmen. These are things we didn't learn from Europe or America or South America or Asia. These are things that are done by our own. And once you start blaming crimes that are committed by our own people onto the people from Europe, you're nothing short of being a racist. Abusing people? Are you kidding me? There's been several times, Mr. President, where you've been insulting people, even in vulgar ways.
This is not African way.
What is the African way, Mr. President? When you say abusing people is not the African way, is then the abduction, the torturing and killing and disappearing people the African way? Why are you being selective on what should constitute me to be an African, on what should be accepted as African and not? We haven't seen you crack a whip on folks who have been charged for crimes against humanity like abduction, killing, and torturing innocent people. And come on.
There's no kufirwa, no laws.
There's no laws.
We want disciplined democracy.
We want disciplined democracy. Are you kidding me, Mr. President? Discipline and democracy coming out of your mouth. The Ugandan people have been abducted. The Ugandan people have been tortured. Many have been killed. Others have had to flee their country. And did you just mention democracy? Just like the one we saw on 18th and 19th, 2020, when people were killed on streets in broad daylight? When you gave orders to your man Relu to go and kill people in Kasese? Are you referring to the democracy where people have been subjected to prison, jail sentences because they oppose you? Do you mean discipline just like that is exhibited by your son? Is that what you mean by discipline? And I agree with you. We should practice discipline democracy. But how about you start with summoning your own son? Your son ordered the abduction and torturing of an innocent man. He abducted an innocent man, tortured him, took photos of him naked. They beat him up. They electrocuted him. They waterboarded him. They pushed a pistol under his butt. Is this what you call discipline? These are things that are done under your name. Orders given by your son. After there, he went on social media to gloat, to boast about this. This is what you call discipline. When you say discipline democracy, what do you mean? Democracy? Did you say democracy? Do you even believe in the basic principles of democracy? Like free and fair elections, like fair play, like the rule of law, like holding folks accountable. These are the principles, the pillars of democracy that you seem to work contrary to.
Not hooliganism.
Hooliganism, not hooliganism. Hooliganism is what has been practiced by your son, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, like the ordering of the abduction of Eddie Mutwe, ordering the abduction and torturing of Kakwenza Ruchirabashija. Hooliganism, as you mentioned, is when your son threatens a country like Kenya that is going to attack Kenya in only 2 weeks, only for you to come out and apologize to Kenya. That is hooliganism. We've not seen you taking actions against your neighbor baby. You can talk about hooliganism and put it on innocent people, Ugandans, especially your political opponents. Start by cracking a whip onto Muhoozi Kainerugaba.
Not intimidating people.
Intimidating people? I mean, take just a minute, Mr. President, and look at what your son posts on social media. He keeps on saying that he's going to attack, to raid, just like he said. He was going to raid the offices of the National Unity Platform. He did it. They forced everyone out. And then he's been posting photos of UPDF soldiers and other security agencies and saying, this is what we're going to do to you. Intimidating people is when you send your minister, Barambaro Gahara, on different media stations to threaten what you're going to do to your political opponents. Mr. President, look yourself in the mirror. This is called projection 2.0.
Using bad language.
Using bad language? Are you kidding me? You know what your son posts when he's referring to Bobby Wine? He doesn't even call him Bobby Wine or Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. He calls him Kabobi. He goes on to make fun of his body features. Bad language?
Because we want the people of Uganda to decide the way they want.
The people of Uganda have already decided on numerous occasions that they're tired of your presidency, only for you to say, I'm not going anywhere, and I would do anything to keep myself in power.
Not to be intimidated.
To be intimidated is done by your son. Mr. President, do you remember your words? We shall crush them. And shamelessly, at one time, you refer to yourself as the master of violence. That is threatening. That is intimidating people.
But some of the political groups, we are making it a habit to intimidate people.
Some of the political groups were making it a habit to intimidate people. And I'm quite certain that you meant to say our political group has made it a habit to intimidate people. I mean, tell me if there's any other violent group than the NRM. Just today, when I was recording this video, I just watched a story on NTV. Supporters of your own camp, a camp of Russia and a camp of Sechikubu, were beating each other. Violence has only been committed on one side by one group against another. And that group is always a group that is protected by state machinery.
To attack people.
To attack people? Are you kidding me? Of recent, they were beating up journalists. And we have seen now numerous videos of security personnel saying, this is why we beat you up. They're proud in their violence meted onto different innocent people. The attacks have only been made by one group, and that is a group that supports you, Mr. President.
Because they are of different political groups.
And it is very funny that these attacks don't actually have to be because there are different political groups. They just have to be journalists just holding their cameras, beaten, their equipment vandalized and confiscated, threatened, that media houses all over Uganda had to actually summon back their teams to go back to their media houses because they couldn't stand your violence. Mr. Museveni, will you look yourself in the mirror?
Now that one is going to stop.
It's not going to stop. I am sorry to be the bearer of the bad news. And I know that now that you said this is just an order that has been given. You are giving orders to your henchmen to go after people who are criticizing you. But I can guarantee you, you can only do that for so long. It's not going to stop. As a result of your overstaying power and the criminality and violence that has been meted onto innocent people, many folks have just been emboldened to stand. Many are willing to die. Mr. President, I want to remind you that a few months ago, we had people in Uganda who vowed to go on streets to protest. And they had a certain way they wanted to communicate to you. Many of them took to social media to write, I am going to protest against corruption in Uganda, but I might not return. If I die, please speak to my children and tell them that I was fighting for my country. These were people willing to die. Now, the biggest question, Mr. President, is how many people are you willing to kill? Criticizing you and Janet and Muhoozi and the rest of all these stooges, minions, lackeys, and sycophants surrounding you is not going to stop. They are going to criticize you. Mr. President, you call yourself a warrior, that you are a strong man. Are you threatened by just mere words from a kid from Oman? And now I'm wondering what kind of a warrior you are. Oh, come on. I thought Sabaran, warrior as you are not supposed to be snowflakes.
The security agencies have discussed it.
These are very dangerous orders because for folks like him, whose only modus operandi is violence, now they're listening. Security agencies have discussed, he's given them orders because he knows that his popularity is waning, that he's not loved anymore. And he made a terrible mistake of raising a neighbor baby that doesn't know how to win the hearts and minds of men. Now he's given orders to his security agencies to go after poor young people who criticize him. Is this what you fought for? Is this what took you to the bush to fight for? To go after people in Oman, in Dubai, people in South Africa who are just going to criticize you, people in Chegegwa who are going to say, we are tired of theft from the Museveni government. Oh, arrest that gentleman, arrest that person. Why are they criticizing me? Are you kidding me, Mr. President? And people, as always, people clap appeasement for no reason. Yeah. What did he say that deserves a round of applause? Zero.
And it's going to stop.
It's not going to stop. Not that I endorse uses of bad language. I want to understand what you mean by bad language because I've seen you use bad language, but it's not going to stop. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. It's not going to stop. As a result, like I said, as a result of your violence people have been desensitized to the extent that your threats they don't care anymore. they're just being emboldened. Mr. President, no, this is wrong.
You must speak very well in public. Together.
You must speak very well in public. No. While I try to speak very well in public, I understand that not everybody is like me. And I give these people their right to use their certain way, their style of speech. Mr. President, you don't decide styles of speech. Look, philosophers and sages and poets probably have said that it is a mark of an educated mind to entertain an idea without accepting it. I disapprove of what you say, but I'll die defending your right to say it. These are basics. You don't have to be an astute politician or a philosopher to know these are basics of democracy, like you said. And I now starting to question myself what you meant by democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this, I want to play you one of situations where Museveni has been using that language he doesn't want people to use. Listen.
Sufferable. Those years.
He was referring to the people of Europe, the European people, as insufferable.
Is insufferable. Some of these people are insufferable.
Some of these people are insufferable. Would that be okay, Mr. President, if I refer to you as insufferable? Oh, I can't use that language on you.
You need to control yourself not to explode. So shallow, so egocentric.
So shallow and so egocentric. You're referring to leaders of nations that have told him, please would you respect human rights? He's referring to people who have given him aid, who have helped him.
So wrong.
So wrong.
But they think they know everything.
That is called projection, Mr. President. It's just you who just told us how we should behave, what we should say, and how we should say it. That is you pretending as though you know everything. And Mr. President, not to use your language, but I would say that's being insufferable and pretending to know too much. As I get to my conclusion, Mr. President, Yoweri Museveni, this is not going to happen. Now look, you might kill me. Absolutely. You might kill my friend. So be it. But my death will just give birth to 1,000 Mordecai and 1,000,000 Mordecai. Come on.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.